Good morning. Welcome to Dornbush Download number 159. Good morning, Rod.
Hi, Michael. It's a little bit of a miserable day today.
Mate, it's been great to see a bit of rain around the place, but it's probably getting a little bit overdone just at the moment.
Well, ask the farmers whether it's overdone. Maybe not.
Well, it's coming at a pretty bad time for some of them, of course. I guess these things can never come exactly at the right time. But yeah, certainly great to see a bit of the wet stuff around. I'm sure lawn mowers around the state are going to get a good workout over the weekend, assuming there's a bit of dry weather. But of course, Rob, we could talk weather all day long. Well, that's not what we're here for. A little bit of news coming out of China and a bit of economic data around the place generally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just in regards to China, it's a positive thing for Australia with the growth of wealth in the Chinese population. They're travelling more, and the positive for Australia is the tourism numbers coming to Australia. Is something I prepared here earlier. Mike, I've got some figures here. Like over the past year, tourists from China and Hong Kong rose to a record from China and Hong Kong to Australia rose to a record 1,605,000 over the past year. That's up 12.4% on the previous year. So, yeah, it all goes well for tourism aligned businesses in Australia, and the stats coming through is just as individual wealth grows in China. It's just going to get better and better over the next few years for Australia. Yeah,
definitely right. I mean, there's been talk for a very long time about a lower and a middle class in China, moving into that higher wealth sort of bracket and embracing, I guess, some of those more Western ideals, travel, food, better housing, all of that sort of thing. China, of course, to our major sort of export partner these days as well. So, it certainly bodes well for tourism and the like. They come over, spend a few dollars here and there. And so, it all helps the cause.
That's right. They're talking about the wealthier middle class over there, which just is huge numbers. It actually outstripped the Kiwis coming to Australia, Michael. So the Kiwis last year was 1,356,000. We had Kiwi visitors to Australia, so the Chinese are outstripping the Kiwis now. So.
Oh, there you go, mate. No, well, that can only be a good thing. But of course, ultimately all humorous to our New Zealand viewers, but it's a great thing for Australia, isn't it? I mean, we're such a mining and agricultural based economy, so to be able to branch out into different revenue streams, increase tourism, and it has such a massive flow-on effect too. All those little businesses around the place, cafes, restaurants, it's a massive impact.
And the retail sector, which has been a little soft over the last 12 months, tourism adds to that, so it's all beneficial.
Yeah, definitely. I guess too, the other thing, Rod, playing out at the moment, we've come out of reporting season, and I guess now we're coming into sort of annual general meetings and all of that sort of stuff, and the guys at Telstra have been spreading their wares and updating their shareholders on a couple of different things.
Yeah, Telstra had their AGM yesterday, Tuesday. Been a tough year for telco companies as a whole over the last 12 months, and especially for Telstra. 12 months ago, the Telstra share price was hovering around the $5 mark, and then as we speak, it's more like $3.50. So it's come off about 30% in the last 12 months. So. Part of that was a reduction in dividend back in August when they were announcing their results. So that's hit the share price pretty hard. But they had their AGM yesterday, so they're saying, well, they're on track for their forecasted earnings. So that was all a good thing. But one of the things the chairman said was it was just what was his wording? One of their major competitors, TPG, although they're a much smaller company, is a formidable operator, and Telstra is not underestimating its impact on pricing and competition. So, TPG is another telco. It's come out and said they're setting up their own mobile phone network, and that's why Telstra is seeing them as a definite competitor. TPG's share price jumped up 5% after that announcement at the AGM, and another telco, Vocus Group, is another telco which is a competitor to Telstra as well. It jumped up over 10% yesterday after the AGM announcement. So Telstra knows it's got competitors out there. they're saying that TPG, their mobile phone network, is going to be at the lower end of the market. They'll be going for the low-hanging fruit in major capital cities and things like that, where Telstra saying, well, we're going to keep our premium mobile network going and keep building on that.
Yeah, no, it's certainly been a tough 12 months for telecommunications companies. It's been the worst performing broad sector by a country mile, and of course Telstra's a fair weighting in that in that broad index. But you're right, Rod. Yeah, when TPG came out and said they'll set up potentially a fourth mobile network. So Telstra, Optus, and Vodafone are the current three operators, and effectively everyone else out there piggybacks off one of those three at the moment. Introducing a fourth player, no doubt got the market a little bit antsy, I suppose, for want of a better word.
That's exactly right. But we'll say, like with Telstra, though, the dividend payout is they've reduced it down to 22 cents per share. But you look at that compared to the share price at the $3.50 mark at the moment, you're still getting a 6% yield. So yeah, I'm trying to put a positive slant on all this, Michael. There is a positive there.
Yeah, and look, mate, it's a good point, because Telstra are paying pretty much 100% of their profit out as a dividend, which as a shareholder, that's great. You're getting a nice high dividend, and probably 95% of Telstra shareholders really were just holding it because it was a high dividend. Albeit there has been that dividend cut, the fact that now the board is going to retain a bit more profit, improve their network, which has been a little bit hot and cold over the last couple of years, I think can only be a good thing. Albeit it's created a little bit of short-term angst, but they've got a little bit of work to do, the Telstra board, but hopefully they're getting back on track.
With these AGMs, sometimes you get interesting questions from shareholders. And one of the questions yesterday, they were talking about mobile phone coverage as a general conversation, apparently. And one of the shareholders said, the only way I get mobile phone coverage is out the back beside the chook shed. That was his response to that. So I'm not sure what the response was from Telstra in regards to that comment. But it was you get interesting comments from the floor at AGM meetings from time to time.
Yeah, and look, and they're great to go to too, aren't they? If you've got the opportunity. Unfortunately, most of them are in either Sydney or Melbourne. So for us up here in Queensland, it's a bit tricky. But every now and then, and of course Queensland-based companies have theirs in Brisbane. But well worth going along to if you get the opportunity. Just quickly on the AGM front too, CSL came out with their AGM this morning. Oh, look, fantastic company, CSL, probably the pick in the healthcare sector. Looking like profits going to continue to be growing at about 15 to 20% over the next year. So CSL shareholders who are currently in there, share price has kicked up a bit this morning, which is great. You're not getting much change out of about $142 a share these days for CSL, but certainly worth, if you're not a CSL shareholder, worth looking closely at. And not a great dividend payer, but if there's a bit of weakness in the share price over the coming months, might be worth having a bit of a dabble in.
Keep an eye out. Good long-term company, had a good track record, good solid company, isn't it?
Absolutely right, yeah. World leader in their various products out there. They're one of their like hay fever type products is doing very well at the moment as well. So CSL certainly one to keep an eye on. Mate, I think that's about done us for today.
That's about it for me.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you.